Okay guys, today's video is gonna be a little bit nuts. No, but really, today we are talking all about, as you saw in the title, the best of beauty of 2017 in my own opinions. So let's get right on into it because it is going to be a long video. This is a forewarning. Also, did you know YouTube has a new feature where you can like click it and click the speed and you can hear me talk faster if you want to hear all I have to say, but you have a short amount of time to watch. I will kind of like put that down here to show what it is, but it's pretty cool and you should check it out, okay? But anyways, I've got a lot to talk about and I know that a lot of you guys care about what I think in regards to these things, so let's get right on into it. But before we do, if you're new here, hi, I'm Kendra. I post 3 beauty/lifestyle videos a week and then I post a weekly vlog. Definitely don't forget to subscribe if you are new here and you want to see those, and also follow me on my social medias. They'll be on the screen right now. Love you guys. Let's get right on into it. Okay, you guys, so I actually have quite a few primers to talk about, but if you would come to me and say like what is most important in makeup, to me one of those things is definitely primer. So I found those things that work for me and I don't stray away from them. I want to talk about 2 that are very similar, but I'll tell you the differences. The first one is the Too Faced Hangover RX Primer, and the second one is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer. This is a lot more liquidy, and this is a little bit more lotiony like and has coconut derivatives in it, whereas this doesn't. This has hyaluronic acid and niacinamide. This has coconut water, probiotic based ingredients, and skin revivers. It is also silicone free. These are both very hydrating primers. If you have dry skin, I highly recommend both of these, but I've also heard with combo to oily skin that they really do like the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer because it is very hydrating. Jesus, this is how this video is gonna go. I'm just gonna screw up all my words. Very hydrating, and even oily skin needs to be hydrated. So I really love these. The next 2 I want to talk about also kind of go hand in hand. You guys know that my ride or die primer is the Becca First Light Priming Filter. This primer, honestly, from the day that I originally did a video on these 2 primers, I'd had this one already, but from the day I originally got this, I have not put this down. This is my 2nd bottle, I think. And I'm halfway through it already, which is a little scary. And then we have the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. This is also my 2nd bottle. This is like an everyday primer, and this is like if I just want an extra glowy base. This gives you a glowy base as well, and it makes you so hydrated. This just really focuses on like glowy with tiny little shimmers in it. I love these so much. And then my last primer that I wanted to mention is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. I've been through many of these, and then I've been through a big one, and then this is my 2nd big one. I can't do my makeup without this. I mean, truly, I feel like it is so refreshing. It is also very hydrating without making your skin like oily or too like slicky, you know what I mean? Like it just gives a really nice layer on top. So I've really been loving this, obviously, because it's in my 2017 favorites. For foundations, we have quite a few as well. I want to talk about probably my number 1 ever, and that is the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue Tinted Hydrating Gel Cream. If you are looking for something that is more like low-key, not as thick, not as high coverage, I highly recommend these. They are definitely more of a BB cream consistency. They're super hydrating, but they are not full coverage, they're not medium coverage, it's sheer to light. You can maybe build it up to be more light, almost medium, but if you're looking for something light coverage, pick this up. This is such a beautiful finish. It's amazing. It has SPF 30, which is really important, and I have been through 3 or 4 of these in the last 1.5 years, so highly recommend. The next one I want to talk about is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. This is like maybe the first high-end foundation I bought a couple of years back. This is actually what I wore for my wedding, and this foundation is just so amazing. It's very long-lasting, very hydrating. It's got coconut water in it, and it is, you could kind of make it more like light, but then I would say the normal coverage is medium, and then you could definitely build it up to be full. Super beautiful on the skin, really good for your skin as well, and it is oil-free. The next foundation I want to talk about is the Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation. I don't want to talk too much about this because you've heard so much about it, but it is so amazing. It's the best stick foundation for like dry skin because it's very hydrating and it doesn't emphasize your dry patches, which a lot of stick foundations can. I highly recommend this if you're looking for something that is going to give you flawless full coverage, because that's exactly what this is to me. So more newer foundation to my routine. Not newer, I guess it's been a couple of months, but this is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Foundation. If you've watched my channel, you know how much I love this, especially ever since it came out. I've been using it ever since. I love this so much. It gives a beautiful medium coverage if that's what you desire. I desire more of a light coverage, so I do go a little bit light-handed with it. But if you desire medium coverage, this is your gal. One thing I love about this is even though it's a matte foundation, I have such dry skin that I don't have to set my face after I use this, and that makes my skin feel so much better without a bunch of powder on top of it. This is my fave. And then my favorite drugstore foundation is the NYX BB Cream. This is definitely on the more light to medium coverage. However, this does such an amazing job of like evening out your skin tone with light coverage. Like, I feel like I don't have any redness anymore after I apply this. It's just a really awesome overall BB cream. It actually is not that great because it has like 3 shades, seriously, like that's it. So it's not great and I apologize, but this is something I used a ton in 2017, so I had to mention it. Now, I only have 2 concealers, but I would have had 3 for sure if it weren't for NARS being a real big doucher and going to the non-cruelty free side. Because I love that NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, like I love that so much. But they're no longer cruelty free. I think it happened in like June or July, so I haven't used it since, to be honest with you. But then we've got this Wet n Wild Photo Focus concealer. Honestly, I think that if NARS wouldn't have gone non-cruelty free, I wouldn't have discovered how much I love this. Because the NARS one was the one I was using daily, and then when that went away, I found out just by like researching that this was a really close dupe for it, and it's amazing. This is the only concealer I have found that I can use as an eyeshadow primer as well, because it doesn't crease. Any other concealer I can't use as an eyeshadow primer because I have such hooded lids that it just creases so bad. But anyways, it's got medium coverage, I love it. And then we have the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. I know that these are also kind of new. They came out maybe towards the end of the summer. I love, love, love this concealer. This is the lightest shade, Fair 5. They have a huge downside that they oxidize so bad, and this is the lightest shade, so it's kind of upsetting because I wish they had a few lighter shades since they oxidize so bad, but these are the concealers that I use the most. And the most amazing thing about it is that they are so affordable. Like this is $6 or $5 and this is like $3.99, so. For powders, I had a few that really stood out to me, and that was definitely the Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder. This definitely took over 2017 as far as powders for me. This is what I use on a day-to-day basis. This is something that I love and I still use. I didn't want to put the Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Setting Powder because I didn't use it too much in 2017, but that also is a really good option. And then the Glossier Wowder was for sure a standout product for me in 2017. It is not drying at all. It doesn't look cakey. It doesn't look thick or powdery on your face. It blends in so smoothly into your face. It does a really good job of setting certain areas, and I just loved it so much. This is something that I definitely see myself repurchasing all the time, and it's really awesome at smoothing. Like, it does a really great job of making your pores just like go away. And next I have the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Skin Perfecting Powder. I try to make myself not use this all the time because it's $45 for this small amount of powder, but ever since I got it back in like July, I have been using it non-stop. I think it's such a beautiful package, and then you have this mirror and then you have the powder, and it's just really great. It's basically undetectable on the skin, which is one reason why I love it so much, because I don't want to look powdery and cakey. I want to look dewy and fresh, and it just does a really good job of setting your face without making you look powdery, and it really smooths things out, so I love it. And then these are kind of more finishing powders, but you could use them as setting powders. This is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette. This is an incredible palette. I actually use this for bronzer quite a lot, but these powders I kind of just mix together and set all over my face. They've got these tiny little specks of shimmer that just radiate off your face, like when you get into the lighting, when you get into the sun. It doesn't look sparkly at all. It just makes your skin look really dewy and fresh and radiant, and I love this. The next thing I do in my makeup routine is eyebrows, and the two standout brow products of the year are the Anastasia Brow Wiz, which you guys have heard plenty about, but you know how amazing this is. This is something I repurchase every single time I'm out of it, every single time without fail. And I just use the shade Taupe. This is amazing, amazing, amazing. And then the next product I have is the ColourPop Brow Boss, which also is newer to like closer to the end of the year. I think end of the summer is when they came out with their new brow line. I hated the original brow pencil they came out with. It was way too pigmented and not a great shade, but this is amazing. I use the shade Light Brown. It's got a spoolie on one side. It's honestly identical to the Anastasia Brow Wiz. What I will say is the colors aren't identical. Like I use the shade Light Brown in ColourPop, and I use the shade Taupe. And the light brown is slightly darker. It is what I'm wearing on my brows today. Like one of the #1 standout product, maybe the most standout product in all of 2017 has to be the Glossier Boy Brow. I could not do my makeup routine without this. I cannot do my brows without this. No other brow gel has ever done to my brows what this does to my brows. Does that make sense? Like this is literally soap brow in a little tube. This is so thickening and makes your brows look so natural. For somebody like me who doesn't have a lot of brow, most of my brow is filled in. So I need something that's gonna make my hairs look a lot thicker and more natural so that my filled in brows look very natural. That's exactly what this is. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. Even for somebody who has really thick brows, use my link down below. It is my Glossier rep link if you've never tried Glossier before and you want to try something from it. This and this, you guys need. I'm telling you, you need it. You absolutely, this more importantly, you absolutely need. Next, I would really go on to eyeshadow, but I think I'm just gonna stick with face products and then move on to eyes. So, the next thing I would do would be bronzer, technically. For contour products, I only have one, and that is the KendraCus Sculpting Powder. This changed the game for me in sculpting. This is in the shade Light. He originally did not have a light shade. It was just medium and dark, I think, and then he came out with light this year, 2017. This is such an amazing contour product for people who are fair to light skin. But again, if you are more medium, dark, or deep, there are those other shades for you guys out there. This is not too gray, which I think is really important. It's very cool tone, but a very natural cool tone. The issue with some contour products is that they can be way too gray, and for my skin tone, a little bit more warm of a contour does better on me. So I've been loving this. This is something I really made a dent in 2017. It is bougie. It's like 44 bucks, but hey, it's lasted me forever. So I can appreciate that because it's a very pigmented powder. So the next one is something that if you've watched my channel for most of the year, you would definitely know about, and that is the Becca Sunlit Bronzer in Capri Coast. I'm obsessed with this bronzer. I know it's very warm and it might scare you, but it is honestly so beautiful. There are 6 different bronzers, I think, and there is one lighter than this, which I've heard really good things about. Kind of want to try, but I haven't. This is one of my favorite bronzers ever, ever, ever. It does have a slight sheen to it, but it never looks sparkly, it never looks glittery, never looks shimmery. It just looks like this gorgeous, natural, bronzy tan that you have on your skin. I will probably forever use this. It is so amazing, and I love Becca face products so much. The next one I want to talk about is the ColourPop Bronzer in California Dreamin'. This is very similar, except for there's no sheen in it. But it is very warm bronzer, and it is very pigmented, and it is $6, I think, and I love it so much. It is just like a natural bronze. It's actually what I'm wearing on my cheeks and my forehead today. I love it so much, and ColourPop is really affordable, and I use this so freaking much. The next bronzer is slightly more new to my collection, as I've only had it since October, but that is the Marc Jacobs Remarkable Marc Jacobs Omega Bronzer in Tantric, and it's massive. First of all, it's the size of my face, and the mirror is incredible. Like, you could do your whole makeup. I love traveling with this bronzer because I can do my entire face in this tiny little mirror. No, huge mirror. This shade is perfect because it's so warm. Like, if you like warm bronzers, you love this, but it's not orange at all. It never looks orange. It is just a warm, natural bronzer. I highly recommend this if you are into bronzers that are more on the warm side. It is pricey. I think it is a 50 bucks, 50 quid. But I have adored this. Honestly, this is one of those products that I literally have to tell myself, Kendra, don't use that. You know what I mean? Like, do you have products like that you have to tell yourself, like, don't use that? Because I honestly reach for this every day, but I have to tell myself to, like, branch out and use some other bronzers. This is for sure my ride or die bronzer right now, and I use this so much that it has to be in my 2017 favorites. The last bronzer I wanted to mention, and I do have a lot of bronzers because I love bronzers so much, is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I don't know if I think I heard they came out with new shades, but I'm not for sure. I have the shade Bronzer, and then there's a light bronzer. I don't think I would love the light bronzer because I love this one so much, and it smells like a Hawaiian tropical Bora Bora Caribbean dream. Like, it's just so amazing. But this is such an incredible bronzer. I hope they do, if they haven't come out with darker shades, so that more medium to dark to deep skin tones can see this formula and use it and see how amazing it is. Truly is really great, and it is affordable from the drugstore. Physicians Formula really hit the mark with this one, and I used it a ton in 2017. For blushes, I feel like with blush for sure, I find something that I love and I really kind of just latch onto it. And the first one I want to mention is the Kylie Cosmetics blush in X-rated. This is everything I could ever want in a blush. It is orange tangerine goodness. This is my favorite blush to wear, and I especially loved it when I had the same hair color as it because it just looked so pretty. I loved when I had peach hair. It was amazing. But this is incredible. It is not overly pigmented, which is something that's scary in a blush because you don't want to go too heavy-handed unless you really like that look. Then you can do that, but that's just not what I go for. I love this blush shade. It is probably my favorite blush shade ever. But I hate the packaging. Like, I just feel like it's really cheap and like boxy. I wish that they could have, you know, done something a little bit better, but I probably will forever love this blush. It is amazing, amazing, amazing. And if you like peach blushes and you haven't tried this, girl, what you doing? The next blush that I used so much in 2017 is Becca Wild Honey. This is a bronzy, peachy dream. This is something that I love to use when I'm not that tan because it makes me look like I've been in the sun. It makes me look like I'm a little bit tanner. But it has like a slight sheen to it and never looks sparkly. Never looks sparkly or glittery. Seriously. It is so amazing. I highly recommend Becca blushes. They are very pigmented, so you do have to like go in with a light hand. But they are super long lasting and look so stunning on the face. They look flawless. They never look chalky, never powdery. They're just amazing. And the last blush that really kind of hit it home towards the end of 2017 was the Fenty Beauty Matchstick in the shade Chilling Mango. You guys might like, this might terrify you. Like, this literally is almost neon orange. And it does have like a slight gold glitter in it, but it is so fine that it never looks glittery. What I do is I like heat it up with my mouth. I kind of go like, you know, looks funny, but I do it. And then I take a stippling brush and like go like this, and then I just pat it on my face. It makes me look so alive, awake, stunning, beautiful, brightening, and I've never found anything that does this exact same thing. I love this blush so much. This is also one of those products that I have to tell myself, like, don't use it, try something else today. I just love this so much. For highlighters, I feel like it was very hard for me to narrow it down because I feel like I did a lot of growth when it came to highlighters this year. Like, there are highlighters I loved at the beginning of this year that I actually like almost really don't like now. So I don't know if that's just because I was really testing the waters a lot, or like if my mind's really just changed a lot. I'm not sure, but the ones that I can remember that were standouts for me were for sure this Kylie Cosmetics King Ultra Glow, and I'm so sad because I think this was just limited edition for her birthday, because it's pink, yeah, birthday. It is stunning. It is like the wet metallic look, but it does not emphasize your texture or bumps or anything. It just looks so amazing on the cheeks. You guys have seen me use this in so many videos, so yeah. I mean, like, she does have more ultra glows and they're all amazing except for the Queen one, which came out with this. You don't need that. But the next one I wanted to mention is the ColourPop Super Shock Cheek in the shade Flexitarian. I mean, it's honestly just so creamy and so metallic and so blinding. Like, if you want something that's gonna like call out to the UFOs up there, like, you need this. If you want Jupiter to see what you're doing, you need this, you know? This is so stunning. I mean, it's just like a light champagne dream, so The next one is got to be the Becca Moonstone highlighter. I only have this little one of it, but they do have full size. I just haven't invested in it just yet. But I've made a serious dent in this one. It is such a stunning highlighter. I've used it so much, especially in the last month and a half. This is something I've honestly been reaching for every single day. It just looks so amazing. Becca face products are incredible. I highly recommend them. If you've never tried it and you want to splurge on a highlighter, please splurge. Please splurge on a Becca highlighter. I promise you, you will not regret it. The last highlighter that really stood out to me this year was the Fenty Beauty Kilowatt highlighters. In front of me, have the Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal one, which is more for like fair skin, but I also am obsessed with the Hustla Baby and what's the other shade? I don't know, it's like the golden peachy reflect shades. I actually kind of use that one a little bit more than this one, but this one I discovered first. These are so incredible, they're so blinding, so beautiful, and they blend so well on the skin. And it is pretty cool that they give you like less shimmery side and then a more shimmery side, so you can kind of like change it up. And it's got a really cool compact, super pretty, love it, use this a ton. Okay, for eyeshadows, I really tried to like pick it down to the palettes that I really just always went back to no matter what. And the first one, and you guys are probably gonna think this is so repetitive, has got to be the Kylie Cosmetics Bronze Palette. Now this one looks pretty clean, and that is because when she announced that she was coming out with ones that had mirrors, I bought a new one and gave my sister my old one. I had made a serious dent in the old one. Like these two shades I was almost hitting pan on, and same with like these three shades because I usually in the transition a ton. This is just a palette that no matter what, I always go back to. If I want a simple look, I go back to this. If I want a bronzy, gorgeous look, I go back to this. Honestly, I've just used the heck out of this, and I think it is just an everyday palette for everyone. If you have not tried this, I really love it, and I think you should too. The next one definitely has to be the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. It is a huge bummer because like these shades I never use. Like from this green shade, Tempting, so Bless My Heart, Tempting, Charmed, I'm sure, Peach Pit, Delectable, and Dark Talk Derby to me, I never touch. They don't call to me. They're just not something that I look at and I'm like, those are pretty, but literally everything else, like these here from Summer Yum and on, from Bellini and on, and from Just Peachy and on, I use those all the time. I don't know if you guys have heard me talk about it, but Luscious is like my favorite eyeshadow shade of 2017 for sure. It is so stunning. Like it is just this like champagne with a slight pinky undertone. It is my favorite shade. It looks so beautiful and wet and stunning on the lids, and it is just the shade I always wanted to wear. So that's why this is definitely like 2017 fave. The next one I'm not going to talk too much about, but it is the Modern Renaissance Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. It just has so many warm, beautiful shades. They're super pigmented. I've hit pan on a few of them, which scares me because it's always scary to have to buy a new palette because they're expensive, but I highly recommend this if you don't have it. I feel like I'm getting out of breath because I'm talking so fast and I'm still sick and I just don't. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna mention is the ColourPop Pressed Shadows. But this kind of covers like all the shadows. Like there's so many of the pressed powder shadow palettes that I love so much. But when I have to think about it, even though I love pre-made palettes more than single shadows, I think I use these single shadows more than my pre-made palettes from ColourPop. This shade down here, this is called Save It For Later. It is my like favorite gold shade of all time. This shade right here, I love throwing into the crease. It's called Popular Demand. It just looks stunning. I love Glass Bowl. I love this shade up here called Snake Eyes. Like I just love my little palette right here from ColourPop. They have the most amazing formula for such an amazing price. So I highly recommend these. If you have not tried them before, you've got to try them. They're like $5 and it's just so awesome. I love ColourPop pressed shadows. And then I do have some ColourPop Super Shock shadows to talk about. I have Waddles, which is like a mauve pink. I have Sailor, which is that like beige that has like a blue flip. You guys have seen me use this in tons of videos. And then I have this one from, I think that it's discontinued because it was K-pop, but it is called Sunset Boulevard, and it is this stunning like shimmery gold. If we're thinking of things I used a ton in 2017, it's definitely these. And then something that came super late in the game in 2017, but that I used a ton is the Natasha Denona Crystal Top Coat. I only have the shade Nude, but I really want to pick up the shade Gray Brown. These are so stunning on the lids. When you first put them on, it just looks like this wet look, and then throughout the day, it slightly gets more glittery, but it looks so amazing. I highly recommend these. It is expensive. I think they're like 28 bucks, but it's not something you're gonna go through that fast. You know what I mean? Like, I just highly recommend this. It is stunning, so stunning on the eyes. I wanna do a video with it soon. And then I forgot to mention this before eyeshadows, but the only thing that I can prime my eyes with is the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion in Eden. It's the only thing that lasts all day, never, never, never once creases, and it just cancels out everything on my eyelids, and it's just amazing. For mascaras, it's kind of hard to say these are 2017 favorites because I had eyelash extensions for most of 2017, but when I didn't have eyelash extensions, I stopped, I think, in the very beginning of November. The very end of October is when I let them fall out and I didn't get them again. This Tarte Lights Camera Lashes is like one of the best mascaras I've ever used in my entire life. It's very good at lengthening and like separating your lashes, and it makes mine look a lot longer and a lot more like, you know, beautiful. And then the Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir Mascara is the most like gorgeous, thickening, volumizing mascara I've ever used. So I use these together. I go in with this first, and then I use my Marc Jacobs one second. And then for lower lashes, I use the Pixi Lower Lash Mascara. There's not much to say other than the fact that it's one of the few mascaras that's not waterproof, but doesn't run at all. So I really love it because that's why I rarely used to wear mascara on my lower lash line, because it would just run all the time, but this doesn't, and I love it. To talk about some setting sprays really fast, definitely the Mario Badescu setting sprays were a huge standout for me. The one I prefer the most is the facial spray with aloe, cucumber, and green tea. Love this, super hydrating, looks amazing on the skin. The Milani Make It Last, which I'm actually like basically out of, is the most amazing setting spray for making your makeup last all day. Like, I just love it so much. It's probably a dupe for the Urban Decay All Nighter one, but I don't have that and I haven't used that in almost 2 years. So I just reached for this because it's cheaper and I love it. And then lastly, the Pixi Glow Mist is something I kind of discovered more so like in October, but I used it every day since. This is my 3rd bottle, and that's when you know you love something, because it makes you look so glowy, but it does a really good job of setting your makeup as well. Something I wanted to mention towards the beginning of the video, but I forgot, is the Milk Makeup Cooling Water. I use this on my under eyes and it looks amazing. Like, I really, really, really love the way it looks on my under eyes. I put it before I use my makeup, and then I just feel like my concealers and my powders look a lot better towards the end of the day because they have a hydrating base, so I've loved this. Okay, so next for lip liners, which I don't use all the time unless I'm using a darker shade or more of a sheer liquid lipstick. The two standouts have to be the ColourPop lip liners and the Kylie Cosmetics lip liners. I mean, her lip liners are really so creamy and so pigmented, and they're very similar hand in hand to the ColourPop ones. You are able to sharpen both of these, so you can get a lot of uses out of these, and these are just the ones that honestly I just use so much this year. I'm gonna kind of speed through lipsticks. Today, I'm not talking about lipstick shades, I'm talking about formulas, okay? Except for one, I'm talking about the shade for one. The #1 standout product for me in 2017 when it came to lips had to have been the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb. I did not wear gloss before I bought this. Definitely, never did. Sometimes I did, like maybe once or twice when filming, but on a day-to-day basis I did not. This has brought me onto gloss, and this is something I wear all the time. If I'm not wearing lipstick, I'm wearing this, seriously. This is so incredible, it's so beautiful, never sticky, it's just so beautiful on the lips, and it really just takes your look and makes you look like a Victoria's Secret model. I kid you not, like, it is so beautiful. You have to try this if you have not. And then the other product that I'm talking about, shade and formula, is the Too Faced Just Peachy Matte Lipstick. Like, they're so cute. They smell amazing, but this shade in particular, this Where My Peach Is At, this is the fiery orange shade that I'm always wearing. This is so stunning. This is such a long wearing lipstick, and it's definitely matte, and I've been on the hunt for a matte lipstick, but the right formula that's in a tube, because I feel like we've been using so many liquid lipsticks that I really wanted to find a good matte lipstick that wasn't a liquid lipstick. And this is my favorite formula I've found, and I'm just so obsessed with this shade. You guys see me wear it all the time. If I'm ever wearing like an orangey red shade, it's usually this, seriously. Okay, then I wanted to talk about the ColourPop Ultra Satin Lips. They're incredible. I think you need to try them if you haven't. They're really long wearing, and they make it look like you're wearing a matte lipstick, but it doesn't have that matte feeling, you know what I mean? That is a dupe for the Kylie Cosmetics Velvet formula, which is one of my favorite lipsticks formulas ever. I love the Velvet so much. They're so comfortable but so long wearing. And today I just have this shade Birthday Suit, but I really have like a lot of her Velvets. I just love them so much, and I highly recommend investing in them. Okay, and then also with Kylie Cosmetics, I know that they're super drying, but today I'm wearing Kylie Cosmetics Candy K Matte Liquid Lipstick. And even though they can be quite drying, they are the longest lasting liquid lipsticks I've ever found. And so if I'm going somewhere for 3 hours and I can't really touch up, or for longer and I can't ever touch up, or if I'm eating a meal, this is just my go-to. It is so amazing. They're so great. They're super pigmented, except for some of the darker shades. You definitely need a lip liner beneath because they can be a little bit sheer, which is just kind of like a flaw in her formula. But I love this so much. They're so long lasting. I don't wear them all the time because they really do dry out my lips, but they just are so good. And then the last lipstick formula I wanted to talk about has to be the Jeffree Star Velour Liquid Lipstick. They are slightly more liquidy than the Kylie Cosmetics formula, and they don't last as long as the Kylie Cosmetics formula, but they're more comfortable on the lips. So if you want a lipstick that's more comfortable on your lips, but might not last as long and you're okay with that, I would definitely recommend the Jeffree Star Velour Liquid Lipsticks. They are super comfortable on your lips. Okay, so I think I'm actually gonna do a skincare video on its own because we've just talked so much in this video. It's gonna be way too long anyways. So skincare video separate, but this is all the goodies. This is all the goodies of 2017, you guys. So I know we talked forever and we talked about everything under the moon, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to leave me a thumbs up, and also let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Tell me if we have any similar favorites, or just by knowing what I do like, tell me if you think there's something else I would like. Let me know. Don't forget to check out my social medias, and don't forget to subscribe if you are new here. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for supporting me. Thanks for always being here for me, and I just love you guys, and I hope you know that. And here's to another good year. But I hope you guys have a great morning, noon, evening, day, night, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!